Hello everybody, back here again for vlog a day, and today is Monday the 22nd, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame. Got up, got the dogs outside, got them taken care of. They're both pretty easy to deal with, the two that are here, because the one of them, he still wants to keep them crate trained because he spends a lot of time traveling, does hotels. He doesn't trust the housekeeping to let the dog out of the room accidentally. So he keeps the dog in the crate. He's in the hotel. So he also, even when he's in the room at night, he puts the dog in the crate because it's not the fact that he's afraid housekeeping or somebody else will open the door, the dog will run out and they lose the dog. So he wants him to continue that so he doesn't get used to being out and having free roam in the house or on your bed with you and then not be able to, handle that easily when he's traveling again. So respect that. I understand completely. So that's what I do. Makes life a little bit of a pain in the butt because I gotta go through the part of the house to get the crate and that, but it's just right outside my bedroom window. But I can't go straight out the master bath, which is how I usually would take the dogs out. But got the dogs out, got them all taken care of, got them fed. They're both very fast eaters, so they're both in puzzle bowls and whatnot. Hung around there for a little bit. After that, wife got up, she was getting around ready for work, and had another dog got dropped off. So he comes usually twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, depends on what their work schedules and stuff are. So he got dropped off. Super funny old man. He's such a funny old dog. He really is. So and he got all grumpy because he's meeting dogs. Every time he meets a new dog, he gets really grumpy. So they got along. Hey, got past their grumpiness. We got hung around a little bit. Ended up outside. Karen got off to work. Went ahead from there. They'd asked about, or she got to work in that. I was out there, had a cigar with the dogs, got them all kind of tuckered out, got them all wore out a little bit. Decided I needed to go run around trying to find a new shop to work on my Suburban. And I got to find out, I'm hoping somebody can give me a general idea of price, because if it's going to be too damn expensive, I'm just going to have to just suck it up and crawl around on my hands and knees and do it myself, which might be what has to happen to get it finished correctly. So, but who knows? So I went ahead, jumped in the truck, headed over. I was going to head up to Ormond, which is one of the shops I'd stopped by a while back, and talked to the guy. I was looking for my wife a convertible at the time, and they didn't have anything for me. And making conversation, I had mentioned that my truck was being held hostage basically at another shop, and he said if he needed to, they will fix whether belt screws up. And I asked him, I said, what would be worst case scenario if I'd brought it to you originally, because I didn't know you guys did, worked on old classic cars, because it was a motorcycle repair shop, but they have a muscle car shop across town. So I'm like, he quoted me a price which seemed too cheap, but I was like, hey, cool, if that's what it is, I'll definitely check them out when the time comes and whatnot and see what happens there. So went ahead, and from there I was like on the way over, I thought, well, I'll go talk to them first. I thought, now I'll just stop the guy right here locally, and he lives just a couple blocks from me, has a shop just over a mile from me. So stopped in there first. I thought, worst case scenario, if the guy's not there, I can stop way back. And also, if he told me a ridiculously cheap price, I just like save the trip to Ormond and not even mess with it. So got there, owner wasn't around, but has one of the guys that kind of helps give quotes, and they really couldn't give me any answers because they wanted to look at and see how much was screwed up. And I'm like, well, can you guys just give me a ballpark of what it would be if they never touched it? So assuming they never touched the truck and it has to be completely taken apart and redone from start to finish to make sure everything's done right, what would that cost? But guess what, all the bolts are broke loose already, so at least have that to benefit for. So, and they basically couldn't really give me an answer. We chatted a little bit, talked to their mechanic there. We talked a little while about just different little things, talked about code enforcement in town, and things go off a weird angle of what it is. Owner showed up, so we chatted a little bit, told him what's going on, and he said he's about 3 weeks out. Then I asked him if he wanted me to limp the truck over, because it's a lot drivable. Like, they got the 67 booster from 1967 and not the big booster, so it's not enough to make pressure, so the brakes don't really work. So you got to pump them up, so it's like you don't have power brakes, but it's even worse. It's like they need to be bled, and they're not power brakes, so it's a double whammy, and that's not good. Emergency brake ain't hooked up, so if the line does go out, I can't even stop it that way. I'm just aiming into a tree or a ditch is what I usually do at that point, if that is the case. Plus the tire rubs, and there's some other little things. And I said I can completely bring it over here, 100% fine with that. Or since it's literally on your way home, the other guy goes, well, it's on our way home, so we can just stop on the way home some night. And I'm like, 100%, it's sitting out in front of the garage. I won't put it away. I'll leave it out so you guys can access it without any issue. And they said they would do that. I said, cool. So I gave them my card, so they'd call me and reach me. I still don't have a number to their shop, which was kind of weird. There's no number on their sign, and there's he didn't offer me a number when I was there. So I was like, okay, that's interesting, but I guess I'll just wait for them to call me. And if I don't hear something from them in a couple days, I will definitely have to go back over and touch base to see if they come look at it, because if they haven't, I got to do something. I got to get it either started on my own, or I have to basically start doing it myself, or find a different shop that can get it in there if they can even come look at it. How are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
Better than I deserve.
Getting the exercise, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
So that was one of those weird things that the guy and dog walked out of the driveway literally 35 feet away, saw me coming. Instead of stopping, come over and then stop on the side of the road and me walk around him, which is really weird. Could have stayed over here or stayed on your side for 35 feet, but nice enough to strange people. So went ahead, wrapped up there, jumped in the truck and headed up to Ormond to talk to their shop. And I get there and door's locked, but I was out in the front area, went to go in. Before I even got up there, some of the mechanics came out working on bikes, and the dude's hard of hearing. No big deal there, so we communicate. I have to, he reads the lips really well, but you have to be facing him and you gotta slow down, because I talk really fast a lot of times. So I'm making these videos, and when I'm talking something like that, I slow myself down as much as I can to make it easier. Told him what I was looking for. He went had me write my number down, said they would call me, and I was like, okay, cool. And I went ahead and saw on the card the address to the other shop. I thought, well, let's drive by there, and if the guy that gives quotes is there, maybe he can just take care of it. So left that shop. In the process of leaving, there's a couple other gentlemen out front looking at cars and trucks, and asked me if I wanted to sell my truck. And I'm like, sure, everything's for sale. What do you offer me? And they asked me what it was worth, and I told them what I thought it'd be worth. Turned out it's the gentleman and his son. The son drives semi, and 10 days ago his truck burnt down here, down to visiting his dad. And the company hasn't told him who's come pick the trailer. The trailer's not hurt, but he's like, well, if they pick up the trailer, I just ride back with that person, get one of my vehicles. And they live in Canada. Dad's down here snowbirding, and his passport got burned up in the fire with the truck, so he can't fly back into Canada. As a Canadian citizen, he's kind of stuck here, and he can drive across with a driver's license, but he has no vehicle, so he's trying to buy a car or a truck to drive up. Once a truck, he has a motor he wants to pick up in Denver or something. So I offered it to him. He basically kind of hum-hawed around it, and the price is dirt cheap. So I don't think they really want to buy a car. I think he's talking shit and hoping that his dad will either, take care of it or buy him something, kind of thing. I then offered him my vet. I'm like, hey, if you want, send him home in your car, keep my vet down here, and you'll have a play toy down here, and then next time he comes out, you can bring the car down and do whatever you guys want to do. And they hum-hawed about that a few minutes, and they decided not to do that either, which, hey, good on you. So I head back home, told them where to look for some other trucks and stuff, because there was a couple lots I remember seeing on the way down to look for that might be more in what the price range they're looking at spending. And I think basically my truck fell into it was older than what he wanted, and I think he was looking for more of a $15,000 truck, not like a $5,000 truck. That if I'm going to spend the money, I might as well have something I really want, not just something to get me home. And part of my thought is, shit, mine, you're not really getting the truck you actually want per se. Just buy my truck, get you home. By the time you rent a car, it'd be cheaper to buy my truck, get you home, then just sell it or give it away or whatever you want to do at that point. But hey, everybody makes their own decisions how they want to do it. So they headed down. I don't know, they went looking for cars. I headed on back home, got to the house, played with the dogs again for a while. Everything was all peachy. The two old grumpy dogs, I'd actually separated between a door because they both get a little bit grumpy at times, and I didn't want them getting grumpy when I wasn't there. So that was fine. Got back, everybody was good. Well, went outside, started chilling out, having a good time, and got a text message from one of the owners saying they were flying back from the trip out of the country. They wanted to pick his dog up in like an hour. I said, I can work with that. Just give me a heads up when you're on your way. He said 100%, because an hour for him could mean anything from 25 minutes or 3 hours. The guy's horrible at time. So I'm like, no problem. About 37 minutes goes by, and I get a text from the other dog owner going, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'm like, sounds perfect. You're both going to land at the same time at the house. But I've watched these dogs both multiple times. Super easy handoff. Whoever gets here first, then we'll just wait 3 minutes. So it's going to be a super easy deal. So went ahead, said, held it. Told them, perfectly, I'll see you in 20 minutes. They went through. Second one showed up, picked the dog up. Everything went home. The guy that was coming to pick his dog up been here for a week. Didn't hear from him. About an hour and 40 minutes goes by. Reach out, I'm like, hey man, because I'm at this point like, damn, I could have been, after the dog went home, I could have then went and got my run in or done whatever the hell I want to do with the day. So he reached back and goes, oh, I'm on my way, I'll be there in like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. 35 minutes later, I get a text, hey, what's your house address again? I'm like, you've been here at least a dozen times, maybe 40 times. I don't know, it's a lot. But okay, so I told him the house number, and somehow, supposedly, I think he just got delayed and used an excuse, because why would you use GPS to use my house? We're only 15 minutes apart and you've been here so many times. He claimed the GPS took him north side of town, not south side of town, blah, blah, whatever. Don't care. Get here, got his dog, get the dog back. I went ahead from there, went and got my run in, and got back from my run. My wife was going to have tacos tonight, so I'm like, okay, cool. Went ahead and ground up the meat, the taco meat, got it all ready to go. Didn't hit the refried beans because they're heated in a can, so if I heat them and let them cool off and reheat them, it's not making any sense. So got done with that, went and jumped in the shower, and actually as I was heating the meat up, I was going to chop up all the tomatoes and onions, and tomatoes and onions were already diced up by my mom at some point. Don't know where she was at. Oh, I almost forgot. I did see her today. She's been hiding in her room, but she was out in the kitchen, and went outside, and I think she thought I was going to be out there longer. So she tried to sneak out the kitchen, I assumed to get food or whatever. And I noticed the garage door was left open. So I asked the question, I'm like, did you leave the garage door open for a reason? And she snapped no at me, and then basically ran back off to her room. And I'm like, okay, then what the fuck? Like, don't just leave my shit open, because I have expensive stuff in there that can be walked off. Especially when I got that stupid tadpole bike. That thing appears much more valuable than what it is, possibly, to a lot of people. Good thing is there's not that many around, so I'm hoping somebody won't steal it, because it's gonna be hard to either sell and or even ride around on. So, but I don't want my new shit stolen before I even realize if I like it or not, because if it got stolen tomorrow, I have to go buy a new one, and then I might not like it, or I could have bought something different and spent the money twice and got something different if I didn't like this one. But plus I don't want to be out like $2,000, so, or new $3,500 or whatever it was. I think I paid $1,800 for it, whatever it was. So, but it is what it is. So shut the garage door. She ran back off to her room. Then I made the meat. Then sometime between, I don't know when, because this morning they were in there, and when I was to dice up the tomatoes and onions, they were already diced up and whatever. So who the hell knows? So got done with it, jumped in the shower, got out, split the dog a little bit, hanging outside with having a cigar. Wife texted us on our way home, so I went in, I cranked the heat back up under the meat, got already go through some refines in a pan, and from now on I will heat them in the microwave only, because that was a pain in the butt. It's too thick to really heat on a pan worth of him. It was a pain in the butt. I kept trying to scorch the bottom and stuff. It was not fun. So went ahead, knocked out our dinner, had a couple tacos. Never saw her. I have no idea where she's at. I assume she's still alive, because there's no smell coming from the room yet. And like I said, I did see her in the middle of the day, and she yelled no at me about the garage door I had left. So it's just no idea. So from there, headed back out. After dinner, got stuff put away, everything put back away, kind of wiped down. Wife washed up the pan by hand. I don't know why I just don't chuck it in the dishwasher, but she was washed by hand. So she washed it by hand, put it up dry. I hid it back outside. Had some idiot reach out trying to buy my Corvette and lowball me an offer over half price, but not a lot over half price. And all I think was just that number and a K behind it, like, and exclamation points around it and stuff. I'm like, wow, that seems so impressive. So I just responded back with copy and paste of the ad. First line saying all offers must be made in person, but after you've actually came and seen the car, because it might not be worth what you're offering because you haven't seen it yet. You're an idiot. If I put it there for 40 grand and you offer me 20 grand, and you're worth 20 grand, you show up and you're like, no, I don't want it. So now you're wasting both our times anyway. So just drive down, look at it. So yeah, piss off. And the funny part is, a couple of offers people have done that to me with, I probably would have taken if they got here and were decent, nice people. Would have happily sold for that price. But when you can't follow simple directions, I don't really want to deal with you. So I just basically responded back, and he's like, well, good luck there, high pressure used car salesman jackass guy. And I'm like, and it's all caps. And I'm like, is your phone broke? Like, what the hell, bro? Like, you should probably buy a new phone instead of worrying about this car. And I'm like, again, that's why I only accept offers in person, because people make offers and they never show up. They don't have any money, they're broke. And you start screaming about he's an engineer down at the science center and at the NASA. He's super wealthy and blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. And he keeps calling me a used car salesman with your pushy, hard-hitting tactics. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? All I said was there's a bunch of fake people out there with no money. So I decided to play this guy. So I'm back and forth, and he's yelling. So I'm like, dude, you need like a hug, bro? Like, come on up, man. You don't have to be so mad. Why are you yelling at me? And he's like, well, you're all pushing. I said, dude, you're not cussing at me. Like, all I said was you got to make your offer in person. I don't say that's pushy and shovey and shit. Well, all these used car salesmen and stuff, you're all the same. And I'm like, this is my personal car. I've had for like quite a while now. Like, clearly, look on my ad. You can tap my face and see I'm selling nothing else on Facebook Marketplace. And there's a reason why, because you guys all suck out here trying to buy shit. So I was like, what the fuck, man? So I'm just playing with this guy. And I'm like, what the hell? So then he basically came back all pissed off, made a lower offer. I said, oh, I get it. You must actually count your money and realize your first offer, you didn't have that much. So I am been out of work for a few years now, and I am really desperate for money. So why don't you come on up and give me that money? And well, I'll let you have the car for that, because you've been so nice and yelling at me. I probably should go sell it to you. And I said, I can meet you at Chick-fil-A, which is about an hour from where he lives. I said, I can meet you at Chick-fil-A, just let me know when you're here. I'll pick you up and come meet you. We can make the deal. Then he changed his tone. All the caps went away. I was like, oh, you got your phone fixed. Oh, I forgot. He asked something about the mileage. If miles are high, I'm like, well, it clearly states add the miles. It's 90,000 miles on a car from 1988 or 89, whatever year the car is. So low miles for what it is. And I'm like, so are you drunk or stupid? I said drunk or dumb. And then he got all mad, and that's when he came back with caps again and stuff. Made me another lowball offer, like half. Like, it's below half what I'm asking. And I'm like, piss off, whatever. So I'm like, just come on up, man. I'll happily make the deal. I said, you seem like you're a really angry person. Maybe you should get yourself a convertible and drive around, because it always makes me smile. So you should have the same thing. If you want, just come up and borrow the car sometime. We think we should be friends, because you seem like such a logical person. And then he gets all pissed off. And he's back and forth, and I type, and I'm like, well, see, this is the exact reason why I don't take offers over the internet, because a bunch of you people out there with no money and no ability to complete this. And he's all, oh, watch and wait till I leave you a review on Facebook. And I'm like, dude, I've never sold anything on Facebook. This is the first, like, I've tried, but it's never worked. So hopefully you'll get me kicked off Facebook Marketplace forever. So I never deal with idiots like you again. So I'll go and look. I was going to see him as a seller and him as a buyer. He has like a 2-something rating. 2-point-something stars, and so many people are like, anger issues, cannot communicate, is a piece of shit, doesn't talk well, can't spell, doesn't show up, inaccurate descriptions, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, my car, I clearly state, runs great, perfectly fine, emergency brake and the cruise control don't work. Other than that, great car. What am I hiding here, man? Come pick the car up. Like, what do you want? So, and I've got it priced at a very fair price. I'm seeing cars that are clapped out for more than I'm asking, and I understand why nobody wants to buy those, because those are garbage, and they've got 140,000 miles on it, and they've been wrecked, and they're asking more than I'm asking for it. So I don't know if my price is too cheap. I don't know if Facebook is just completely ruined, that everybody thinks everything is a scam now. I have no idea. So I just, every few weeks, I hit the button that says, do you want to refresh this? Have you sold it? I said no, and I figure eventually it will sell. And if it sells, great. If it doesn't, I'll leave it in the garage. The only reason I was trying to sell it originally is I wanted space. My wife wanted a convertible. Don't need 2 convertibles in my family. And if I could unload it, I would then have room in my garage to not pack them in super tight, so she can get her car in another garage better. So I don't really like convertibles sitting outside, or at least not rag tops. I don't know, if it's hard top, I wouldn't care. But so I spent like 3 hours back and forth. It was very slow going, because he had to think of what insult he wanted to say. He was calling me names and all kinds of stuff. It was great. And I was so bored. I had nothing else to do. So that's what I did, is I watched YouTube, played a little poker online, and smoked a cigar. So that was actually the fun part of my evening. But the other part was just my mom. I saw her, so I know she's at least alive today, and not communicating with me, not talking to me. Reached out to other people that know her, that had known her forever, and I was like, hey, what do I do? And they're like, just leave her be, and eventually she'll come around. You know how she is. I'm like, I'm not sure I want to live that way anymore, man. I just don't know. My wife asked me, what do we do if she doesn't live here? I'm like, I have no idea. I've offered to buy her house back in Iowa. Offered to buy her house in Ohio. I didn't care. If you think you'd be happier somewhere else, let me know. Offer to pay for hotel. Offer to pay for apartment. I'll let her know until she gets herself settled, figure out what she wants to do. And says she wants to be here, but then acts like she's kind of miserable the whole time. So I don't know. It's kind of weird having the house empty without her in there, because some fact that I'm still, like, I've been in the house some, like, before. Like, I actually use my house, and it's kind of weird. But it's still even more weird, because now when I'm in the house, it feels like I'm just taunting her, and I'm like teasing her, like I'm just like trying to stir shit. So who the hell knows? But got done outside, went inside, chatted with my wife a little bit about what's going on, and she asked me if she should reach out to my mom, and I'm like, that's up to you. But I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this. It just feels feels so sad that she wasn't willing to talk to me. Like, she hasn't even debunked the fact that I think she doesn't like me as a person. Like, that would have been something I couldn't imagine if I had a kid and they said that to me. I couldn't imagine if my mother had said that to me. I couldn't went to sleep that first night. I explained to her that's not the case at all. But apparently she's sleeping like a baby. So I guess we are just different people. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.